most dangerous thing about you is that you don't even know you're doing it. You exist without effort and unravel me completely. There's a particular cruelty in that. The way a window lets the light in without caring what it illuminates. I've been illuminated, I've been exposed. Every shadow I was comfortable living in has been politely, mercilessly lifted. And you just stand there, looking like that. Teach me how to want you less, or want me back. Those are the only two options I have left. I've retired from the space in between. It costs too much and pays in nothing. Teach me how to want you less, or don't, and stay. I should have left before I learned your middle name. There's a ritual I have in the mornings that involves not reaching for my phone, not looking for your name in a conversation you haven't started. I've been practicing it for months. My success rate embarrassing is embarrassing. Teach me how to want you less, or want me back. I've dissolved the middle ground. I've evicted the reasonable options. It's just this now. It's just you. Teach me or stay. I'm asking with my whole chest. I'm asking with every failed morning. I'm asking with the phone I didn't pick up, and the message I didn't send, and the door I didn't walk through. All of it is the question, when are you going to answer? I keep falling in love with you in rooms you don't even remember being in. There is a specific tenderness in watching someone who has no idea they're being adored. The way you reach for your glass, the small animal sounds you make when something surprises you, the way you look at windows like they owe you something. I collect these, I'm not proud of it, I can't stop. Darling, I'm obsessed and I know it's not pretty, but neither is the ocean and you still wanna swim. I'm the kind of trouble that comes with good intentions. I'm the feeling you get just before the lights dim. I'm obsessed. There's a cruelty in your kindness that I don't think you know about. The way you let me close enough to memorize your face without ever saying yes or no. I've built a home in your ambiguity, decorated it, paid rent, sat in its dark rooms like a woman who chose this because she did. Darling, I'm obsessed and I know it's not pretty, but neither is the ocean and you still wanna swim. I'm the kind of trouble that arrives There's a version of brave I discovered the night I told you the true thing. Not the softened version, not the one with the caveats and the careful exits and the plausible deniability. The actual true thing, the one I'd been composting in my chest for months, the one that had grown roots, you didn't run. That's still the most romantic thing that's ever happened to me. This is not a careful love. I gave up careful at the door. This is the kind that builds its house on wanting, that knows the risk and wants it more. This is not a careful woman anymore. I've been careful in every other context. I am exceptional at careful. I can careful for 12 hours straight without breaking a sweat. But then there's you, and careful leaves the building. Careful doesn't even text. This is not a careful love. It's the one that shows its whole head. The one that says here, all of it, all of it. Every embarrassing, tender part of it, take it or leave it, but you are going to see it. This is not a careful love. And I've never been so sure of anything. The truth is still alive, still growing. Still entirely yours. You change the way I enter every room. The angle on my shoulders, how I pause. I catch myself performing all the gestures. You taught me without syntax, without clause. The way I hold a glass, the way I listen before I let my own voice find its cause. I am the house you built without a blueprint. I hold the shape of every room you meant. You are still architecture in the way I carry what you gave. Not ruins and not monument, just beams inside a life you helped me raise. I am still architecture. You are still the hands that shape the frame, and every love I let inside this structure walks through doors you built and says my name. I read an article about how cities change, how streets remember older streets below. The current map, a layering of intentions, of everyone who shaped the way things go. You are a former street inside my present, a foundation, not a wound, a flow. I am the house you built without a blueprint. I hold the shape of every room you mend. You are still architecture in the way I carry what you gave. Not ruins and not monument, just beams inside a life you helped me raise. I am still architecture. You are still the hands that shape the frame, and every love I let inside this structure walks through doors you built and says my name. Maybe love is less a thing that happens, and more a force that builds and doesn't leave. Maybe you are not a chapter I closed, but a language that I still know how to read. I don't reach for you, I don't revisit, I just live inside what you believed. You are still architecture in the way I carry what you gave. Not ruins and not monuments on the love I didn't fully understand. The building stands, it always did. Loving you has made me a woman who believes in things again. I was good at the sinner-saken. I'd practiced it, wore it well. It's a flattering color on someone who's been disappointed enough to have earned it. And then you arrived with your inconvenient sincerity and your complete refusal to be anything other than exactly what you are. It's deeply considerate, I'm entirely grateful. You broke something in me that needed breaking. Not the good things, not the strong things, the locked things. The boxes I'd stopped opening, you didn't force them. You just stood nearby, being so relentlessly, exhaustingly real that the locks started feeling embarrassing. You broke the locked things open, not with force, with presence, just by being so completely there. That hiding started feeling like a waste. You broke the locked things open, and the light came through, and I let it for the first time in years. I let it. I believe in Tuesdays again, in the particular mercy of an ordinary evening, in the idea that two people can find each other in all this noise and make something quiet and real and permanent out of nothing but choice. I choose, every morning I choose. You broke the locked things open, and I'm not putting them back, not for anything, not for anyone. You've been drinking my name like it's something you need to survive. I learned your silence the way you learn a second language, by making every mistake twice. There's a photograph of us I never took, but I've seen it every night. The way the lamp made your face look like something that could make, like something that could woman lose her mind. I keep saying I'm almost over it, I keep lying in the same breath. You're the song I can't stop singing when I'm trying to sleep. You're the wound that keeps me living, the secret that I keep. I don't wanna be free, God, I don't wanna be free. They say desire fades like smoke, mine fossilized. I trace the outline of your shoulder with closed eyes, And every version of myself I've tried to build still finds its way back through your door at the same ungodly hour I promised I'd ignore. Surrender was a kind of death. Now I think it's the only thing that lets me breathe. Now I think it's the only thing that lets me breathe. So take it, take whatever's left. You're the song I can't stop singing, louder than before. You're the wound I keep reopening because I need it more. From this room, I'll still be here, smelling like your perfume. I wanna be the last thing that surprises you. Not the first, there have been others. Not the most dramatic, I know my competition. The last, the one that settles in after all the other revelations have cooled. The one that you're still turning over at 73, thinking yes, this one still, this one especially. I wanna be the love you didn't predict, not the fairy tale, not the movie, the real one, the one that looked ordinary from the outside and turned out to contain entire hidden rooms. Let me be the thing you didn't see coming, not the storm you braced for. Let me be the one that arrives like weather you needed, finally, finally here. Let me be the thing didn't want to. Rooms you're still finding, rooms that keep appearing, rooms you didn't know a person could hold. I'm not asking for a miracle, I'm asking for one honest night. I'm asking you to stop making sense and let me make the same mistake I've been building toward for years. I'm not asking for forever in the grand gesture sense, I'm asking for forever in the ordinary sense. The cup on the same side of the sink, the particular way you'll know I've been in a room, the argument we have that we've already forgiven before it's finished. Let me be the thing you didn't see coming, the last surprise, the best one, the one that makes you think I had no idea that a person could feel like home before you've even finished arriving. I'm arriving, let me in, I'll stay as long as you'll have me. You didn't talk much, you arranged the air. Move furniture, you arranged the air. Move furniture with patience, not with haste. You'd read in the same room without asking, existence without urgency or waste. And I, who lived in sentence and longer, slower taste, learn to breathe in longer, slow the breathing. You were the pause inside the breathing, the second between lightning and believing. Softer than silence, you arrived. No entrance music, no rehearsed design. You were the space inside the busy hours where all my loudest thoughts fell into line. Softer than silence, steadier than sound. You were the quietest love I've ever found. I used to think that love should feel electric, anticipation dressed in ceremony. But you showed up like tea left on the table, on the table. Warm in there, no drama, just for me. And I kept waiting for the storm to follow, then realized you were after the storm relief. Learn to breathe in longer, slow the breathing. You were the pause inside the breathing, the second between lightning and believing. Softer than silence, you arrived. No entrance music, no rehearsed design. You were the space inside the busy hours where all my loudest thoughts fell into line. Softer than silence, steadier than sound. You were the quietest love I've ever found. Someone once told me that what I needed was something louder, sharper, more defined. But I have been loud my entire life, and you were the first quiet I called mine. Not absence, not withheld, just softer, just still, just kind. Softer than silence, you arrived. No entrance music, no rehearsed design. You were the space inside the busy hour, ever found. The room is still, and I mean that as a gift. I learned to read the weather like a system. Low pressure means I'll think of you by 8. The city changes color before a storm hits. You always call me over, you were never late. Now I watch the window like a habit. Now I make my coffee and I wait. Now I make my coffee and I wait. There's no logic left in how I miss you. Just clouds assembling, just the wanting through. Rain protocol, stand by the glass. Watch the street, remember all the years that passed. Count the drops until they form a pattern. Tell myself you're fast. Rain protocol, I run it every time. Looking for your code, looking for a sign. You said that rain made every city honest. Stripped the performance, left the architecture bare. I think of that on days like this, when the storm pulls back the skin of everywhere. And what I see is just a street without you. Honest, bare, and almost too much to bear. There's no logic left in how I miss you. Just clouds assembling, just the wanting through. One day I'll pass the window and not stop. One day the rain will come and I'll just let it drop. One day your coat won't be the one I look for, and that'll be the day I finally learn to drop the protocol, the vigil, the glass, the very last thing built to make you last. Rain protocol, stand by the glass. Watch the street, remember all the years that passed. Count the drops until they form a pattern. Tell myself you're fast. Rain protocol, drops until they stop meaning something, until your coat is just a coat, and that's the last rain protocol. Looking for your coat and finding only mine. The rain comes, I don't go to the window, almost. Tell me you don't feel this, and I'll call you a beautiful liar. The restaurant was loud, but all I heard was you breathing between sentences, choosing words like gifts. I've been guilty of less and punished more than whatever this is. This slow thing, this orbit that I can't explain to anyone sober. Every time I almost leave, your eyes do something criminal. Stay a little longer in the dark with me. Let the night do what the morning never could. We both know that this isn't simple. We both know that it's no good. But stay a little longer in the dark with me. You kept a drawer with nothing in it, just in case. I never asked for whom. I've been sleeping with the light on and calling it a choice. When really I've been leaving it for you, just in case you find your way back through this room. Stay a little longer in the dark with me. Let the night do what the morning never could. We both know that this isn't simple. We both know that it's no good. But stay a little longer in the dark with me. I stopped pretending virtue when I stopped pretending you were just a friend. So let's be honest in the dark then. Let's be exactly what we are. Two people who chose gravity instead of playing safe. Stay a little longer, stay a little longer, stay a little longer in the dark. Let the night do what we both know it's not simple. I don't want it to be. You move through every room like a slow tide, deliberate, unhurried, pulling me. I lived at 17-minute increments, alerts, alarms, appointments to be free. And somewhere in the middle of our difference, we built a world that ran on its own speed. Not broken, just two clocks on the same wall, telling different truths, but ticking after all. Telling different truths, but ticking after all. We were two clocks in a quiet house, never quite the same, but always close. I love the seconds in between our counting. I loved you most when time forgot its post. Two clocks, one room, one almost perfect sound, and something holy in the middle ground. The hardest part was not the final distance, it was realizing distance was the start. We synchronize on weekends, late in autumn, and called that closeness, called it beating hard. Maybe it was, maybe every love is just two different rhythms making art. Not broken, just two clocks on the same wall, telling different truths, but ticking after all. Telling different truths, but ticking after all. We were two clocks in a quiet house, never quite the same, but always close. I love the seconds in between our counting. I loved you most when time forgot its post. Two clocks, one room, one almost perfect sound, and something holy in the middle ground. What if I slowed down? What if you ran? Maybe we were perfect, exactly as we ran. Maybe love is learning how to let two things be one. We were two clocks in a quiet house, never quite the same but always closed. And something wrong, they've just stopped comparing. You're afraid of, I wanna know where you're softest. Not to use it, not to press on it with careless hands. To protect it, to know which rooms require a different kind of quiet. Which hours are harder, which words land wrong, even when they're well intended. I want the full map, the parts marked dangerous, especially those you've been holding yourself like something that might shatter. I see it. The precision of your self-containment, the maintenance it requires, the way you rig breathe duty your way, so no single part of you has to bear too much at once. Let me carry some of it, that's all I'm saying. Put some of it down. You've been carrying it in a way that costs more than it has to. Let me carry some of it. I have the capacity, I've been building it specifically for specifically this. Let me carry some of it. I know you've been let down by people who offered and then couldn't hold it. I know the scar tissue that leaves. I'm not asking you to forget that, not asking you to forget that. I'm asking you to let it be different this time. Slowly, at whatever pace trust rebuilds itself, to let it be different. I'm not going anywhere, I'll still be here when you're ready, I'll still be here when you're not. Let me carry some of it, that's all I'm saying. Put some of it down. You've been carrying it in a way that costs more than it has to. I have the capacity, I've been building it specifically for specifically this. Let me carry some of it. Put it down, I've got it. We drove with no destination, past the bridge where the river swallows all its light. You pressed your thumb against the fogged up window and wrote the one word I won't recite. The radio played something we both hated. We sang it loud enough to drown the night. I didn't need a map to find you then. But now I can't find north again. Come back to November, when the world was small and cold and ours. Come back to the quiet, before we learn the names of all our scars. I keep the month alive and how I remember. Come back to November. You left a tan spat in my nervous system, some frequency I can't undo. I don't miss the love as much as I miss who I was when I was close to you. Not the ending, not the sweetest morning, just the Tuesday I was breathing through. I didn't need a map to find you then, but now I can't find north again. Come back to November, when the world was small and cold and ours. Come back to the quiet, before we learn the names of all our scars. I keep the month alive and how I remember. Come back to November. There are cities I will never visit, because you mentioned them first, and books I set aside unfinished, because your name is somewhere in the verse. This isn't grief, it's just geography. A place I lived, a place I'm still. Come back to November, when the world was small and cold and ours. Come back to the quiet, before we learn the names of all our scars. I keep them alive, somehow I remember. Come back to November, the map ends where you do. You left your coat on my chair again, like evidence you meant to stay. I read your silence like a second language I never asked to learn. The street light caught your shoulder as you turned, that half look over glass and rain. And I keep finding reasons not to leave, folding the hours into shapes I don't believe. I am not broken, I am glass. You saw straight through me as you passed, and every room I walk into without you still holds the shape of what we almost were. I memorized the rhythm of your breathing before I memorized your name. Now every stranger's laugh across a rooftop sounds like something I can't reclaim. I water the plant you gave me and pretend it doesn't mean a thing. And I keep finding reasons not to leave, folding the hours into shapes I don't believe. I am not broken, I am glass. You saw straight through me as you passed, and every room I walk into without you still holds the shape of what we almost were. Maybe the ending was always right. your jacket in my closet and stood there for 10 full minutes like a woman at a shrine. I'm aware of how that sounds, I'm telling you anyway, because honesty is the last dignity I have, and I'm spending it here on you, as I have spent most things. You make me extravagant, you make me the kind of woman who stands in closets communing with wall and memory. I did not ask for this character development. I am reluctantly grateful for it. Take me apart and see what's inside. Not gently, I've had gentle. I want the version where you actually look, where you turn the thing over in your hands and say, I see, this is what she's made of. This is what she holds like this. Take me apart. Take me apart. I am not fragile in the way you think. I am fragile in a much more interesting way, the kind that comes from caring too much for too long, at full volume, with no apology. The jacket is still there, by the way. I moved it to the left side, the side where things go that I'm not ready to decide about, the side that's mostly you. Take me apart, I'll put myself back together after. I always do. I just want you to see the interior first. I want you to know what you're working with, what you've always been working with. The worst thing you ever did to me was make me wanna know you better. Every door you opened led to another door. Every honest thing you said made the dishonest world sight unbearable. Now I carry you like a new prescription, something that changes how a new prescription, something that changes how everything looks, something I can't imagine not taking. I thought I knew my limits. You were very polite about demonstrating otherwise. The 4 a.m. gets, the 4 a.m. version, the one who isn't performing anything. I want the mess, the fear, the quiet doubt. I wanna be the place you come to when you don't know how to talk about it. I want the version of you nobody gets, not the polished one, not the public one, the one who forgets to be impressive, the one who needs something. I want that one, only that one. You're generous with charm, you're careful with your heart. I respect that. I also intend to outlast it, not by force, by consistency. By being the person who is still there when the performance gets I've always had you. I'm not asking you to love me, I'm just warning you that I already do. There are cities I went to after you and walked through like a tourist in my own chest, buying postcards I'd never send, sitting in cafes with your name on the tip of my tongue, like a word in a language I'm not supposed to know. I wore red the night I stopped waiting, it didn't work. You're the religion I invented when the real ones failed. You're the map that keeps me lost, love, and I love being lost. Since before I knew the caution, you're the religion I invented. I once tried to describe you to a stranger. Some people are not made of adjectives. Some people are made of the hour before dawn, when the mind goes soft and every wall comes down, and you'd confess to anything just to feel it lift. You're the religion I invented when the real ones failed. You're the map that keeps me lost, love, and I love being lost. I've been writing this confession since before I knew the cost. You're the religion I invented, and I still believe. Here's my heresy, I choose you over peace. Every single time I choose the ache, the not quite, the almost and the maybe, over anyone who makes it easy. You're the religion I invented, louder now on fire. You're the map that keeps me lost, love, and I worship being lost. You're everything I praise, you're everything I pray to. If I knew how to kneel, I never learned, but for you I'm learning. I packed my things on a Wednesday, choose a boring day, less ceremony. The towels we argued over stayed behind. I let you by to every corner of that room. 5 years folded into cardboard by noon. It wasn't hate that moved my hands, it was the last of what I understand. I loved you like a place I couldn't live, beautiful and wrong and all the same. I loved you like the warmest kind of exit. I left with everything, you kept the stays. This is not a wound, this is a door to, and I love myself a little more. Someone asked me if I missed you lately. I said I missed the version we pretended, the one where we were generous and patient, the one we kept until the story ended. Not the arguments at 3 a.m., not the silence growing into something permanent. It wasn't hate that moved my hands, it was the last of what I understand. I loved you like a place I couldn't live, beautiful and wrong and all the same. I loved you like the warmest kind of exit. I left with everything, you kept the stays. This is not a wound, this is a door to, and I love myself a little more. There's a particular kind of love that costs more than it gives back, and a particular kind of strength that looks exactly like turning back. I chose myself quietly in the hallway, holding my coat, not looking back. Oh, I loved you like a place I could live, beautiful and wrong in all the same. I loved you like the warmest kind of exit. Oh, I left with everything, you kept the stakes. This is not a wound, this is a door to, and I love myself a little more. The door closed soft, that was the whole point. I've been trying to write the song that makes you understand, and this is my 17th attempt. The others were too angry, or too soft, or too clearly about you, in a way you could deny. This one I'm leaving undisguised. Consider it my final conceit. I am simply gonna tell you the truth, and let the melody make it bearable. I loved you for I understood what that would cost. I love you now and I know exactly what it costs. I love you anyway, that's the whole lyric, that's the whole confession. Every song ends with you. Minor key or major, slow or fast. I always found my way back to the part that sounds like your name. Every song ends with you. The 17th attempt is simpler than the others. It doesn't try to be clever, it just says, I see you. Not the surface thing, not the public thing. The real one, the scared one, the one that got built from all the years before me. I see it. And it's the most beautiful thing I've ever decided to love. Every song ends with you. Every road, every room, every year. Didn't matter the tempo, I always arrived here. Every song ends with you. Play it again, you know you want to. We both know how this ends. It ends with you. It always ends with you. You touched my face once, for no reason. I've been rearranging my life around it ever since. We were somewhere between a joke and something that would matter. You were talking about a book you loved at 22, and I wasn't listening to the words. I was watching your hands move like they were conducting something only you could hear. That's when I knew I was in trouble. That's when I stopped trying not to be. Come undone with me tonight. Let's be something we won't explain. Let's be something we won't explain. I've been careful for so long, darling. I've forgotten what it's like to feel it rain. So come undone. I've been told I love too much, Too fast, too deep, too long. I've been taking that as criticism, but tonight it sounds like a love song. Every nerve I've been politely ignoring is filing a formal complaint, and the complaint is you. It's always been you. I'm scared of the before, all the standing at the edge of you pretending it's a door I could choose not to walk through. I was never gonna walk away. Let's stop performing that we don't know. Know that, oh, come undone. Come undone gloriously. Let's be something we won't explain. Let it rain. Come undone with me. This is the last love song I'll write that isn't about you, because I've run out of other subjects. I tried. I wrote about the city. I wrote about loss in the abstract. I wrote about a woman standing at a shoreline who was definitely not me, thinking about someone who was definitely you. Thin disguise, my editor didn't say anything. My editor knows everything I make has your fingerprints on it now. Not because you touched it, but because you changed the hands that did. You changed what I reach for. You changed what I think is worth saying. I make things differently now. I look longer before I start. I'm willing to be more honest than is strictly comfortable, because you showed me that honesty is the only thing that lasts. I make things differently now because of you, all because of you. There was a before, it had its merits. It was quieter, it was tidier. Nothing in it surprised me. And then the after, louder, messier, full of subjects I didn't choose and feelings I didn't budget for. And this relentless, inconvenient, magnificent thing that shows up in everything I write, wearing your name like it owns the place. It does own the place. I make things differently now. I make them for you, even when they're not for you. Even when they're about the city or lost in the abstract. Who is absolutely me, who is absolutely thinking about you, who wouldn't change a single word.